Peace to the family. Welcome to Gold in the Crisis, Contract Killers, Part 3. I had the intention to really put a lot of pain in for today. And we're going to do that nonetheless. But I rerouted what I was going to teach because there's some things I need to bring to your attention about the value of reviewing the classes. Because as relevant as information is today, it is just as relevant as it was a month ago. This happens quite often. So periodically, since I'm constantly teaching from one week to the next, it behooves me to remind the good brothers and sisters of our Gold in the Crisis community to double back, even go there 3-4 times over and double check everything. Okay, that's important. I'm about to take you guys to a very dark place. But I don't mean nothing negative. Because the only thing that's ever blinded us in life has been the light. The light blinds you. You stare directly into a light. When you move from that light, you'll be blinded. So no, I will not take you into the light. I'm going to take you into the darkness because that's where the revelations take place. That's when prophecy is made manifest. That's when the revelations are undergone. That's when the greatest conveyances take place. I'm going to take you to a dark place when it comes to these contracts. Never mind the contemporary connotation of the word dark. I'm going to take you to supreme balancement. It is necessary because you learn about traditional investing, buy a stock and hopefully it goes up. So I want to give you guys way more context when it comes to contracts. Because where we're about to go, and as we're closing up the series, I know we're always about to close up the series, but the other classes will be available to membership only. So I will be closing this out. We do have a health course coming up too. And the difference between my health course and any other health course out there will always be because you benefit greater. Because I'm going to teach you how to make your own tonics. And I'm going to teach you how to put the pills together and what combinations. So you can sell these things off yourself or at the very least, create viable opportunities for the members of your household. That way I don't have to be under the gun. Buy this piece for creating opportunities for my people. So what better way to make the products more affordable than to teach the people how to make them themselves? Saves us a lot of time and trouble. So let's do this. Contract killers. Contract killers. Part 3. This is strictly for the sake of context. We're going to focus on call options, but options in general. I need this because what we're about to do next week is going to be ridiculous. For those of you that got I taught them how to buy $1 for a few pennies book, just understand, please, on account to my artistry, we actually had books produced to be shipped out. A few got shipped out. I recalled them because I wanted to add more contract data because I see the community making so much money off of contracts, but I also see some errors out there. When I see the errors, I either speak to it, teach about it, but because the publication hasn't gone full surface, I said, pull it back. And let me just add 5-6 more pages in there. I literally spent the money to produce these books. I have my own publishing company and I told them, recall it, bring it back. So I can just add 5 or 6 more pages. 5, 6 more pages became 10, but that's all right. That's all right. And I'm going to add more than 15 videos. Pardon me, I have 15 videos that come with the book. I'm adding more to the 15 videos dealing with contracts. So please, family, give me one more week. Everybody will have their books. Give me this week coming. I just want to make sure when this course concludes, you can access information from the books, review this course, and then whatever you get from membership will be a plus. But I'm really concerned about everybody winning to the best of their ability. I teach at the highest level because I want everyone to win. So please give me one more week. So when this week closes, you guys will have your books in the mail. And that's a guarantee. That's an absolute fact. This is my 99th publication. This is my 99th tome. It's a special tome. I really was supposed to release it for my birthday, which is August 10th, my solar return. Releasing it a little early. But nonetheless, it's a masterpiece. I feel it's one of my greatest publications, not because of the verbiage, but because of the application. People will be able to access the information and create more viable opportunities for themselves as individuals, as well as their families or their spouse or their partners. This is what I feel I arrived for on planet Earth. And it's been a blessing walking with you all. So without further ado, let's go to Contract Killers Part 3. Context. That's all this is about. First and foremost, I want everyone to make sure you're paying attention. Here's the text messages. Those of you that join the membership, all you got to do is $19.99 a month and join the membership to get these text messages. Of course, membership entails newsletters, lessons, which you got another lesson coming up right now, Divulgence number 3 on socio-political matters. We have occupations available. We're hiring. We got all these different things going on in our community. But we give out real estate notifications and text notifications. That's what your $5 a week, $19.99 a month covers. And I know I left some things out. But right now, let's focus on the notifications. This stock right here, Tonix Pharmaceuticals Holding Corp. TNXP. TNXP is at $1.65 on Tuesday, July 21st. Right now, it's trading for $1.45. What is today's date? Today's the 26th. Today's July 26th. So right now, TNXP is trading at $1.45. 5 days ago, it was as high as $1.67, July 21st. Well, look at this. On Friday, July 10th, Brother Polite sent out one of those in the money texts, TNXP, sit on while it is early. So here we are, 16 days later, or we want to go to its highest thus far, 11 days later, it went from, let's see. It went from, it was 65 cents, people. It was 65 cents. Literally 1 month ago, it was 65 cents. 1 month ago, check this thing out. It was 65 cents. And that's right, as an example. And I know people say, man, people live in your house. We don't want to see the people that live in your house benefit. And we want to know people outside your house benefit. But enough with that game. Sometimes I want to show the people in my house are benefiting too. Because then that's always the question. Are people next to you also benefiting? Well, it's very safe to conclude everyone's benefiting. I just chose to use Riot as an example. TNXP was 65 cents. It went up to $1.67. It's more than 2 times the profit, people. About 2.5 times the profit. Whatever you would have put in there, would have did 2.5 times. And how much days? I mean, my goodness. So in 1 month, that's saying 30 days, the stock was at 65 cents or so. Well, pardon me, not even in 1 month. The stock just on July 10th, we go at it July 10th, and 11 days later, we made over 2.5 times our money. This was sent out July 10th, TNXP. Sit on while it is early. I said, sit on it. Buy a bunch up and sit on it. That was a text message. I got plenty text message confirmations. We'll do that for another day and time. Actually, I'm looking to do a free class Friday on YouTube. I want you all to show up. I'll send you guys emails and texts. I want you guys to show up. And that's just to tighten up everybody's game that's part of the community. But let the outsiders listen in, and if they can benefit, they benefit. What they don't understand, take the class. It's really for you guys. I'm doing that extra class Friday, and you'll still have class on Saturday for UCC and real estate. You still have class for Sunday for Contract Killers Part 4, which would be, I'm closing things out. It's not the last class, but it's probably the second to last class. Closing things out. It's rough doing these things on the weekend. So I just want to say, pay attention to the text messages. You guys that's on the text list, don't sleep on it. Even review the old text list and see what's going on. And so I did this class right here, John Wick 3, the gold coin. I did this when? 1 month ago. 1 month ago, I taught this private class called John Wick 3, the gold coin, with the emphasis being the gold in the crisis. But this time around, I was literally talking about the gold. At that time, 1 month ago, Fortis Fortuna Aduva, at that time, 1 month ago, gold was $1,683. This was one slide that comes out of that class I taught 1 month ago. And when we go down here, right, I want you to realize silver was $17. So when we go down here, what happened? What happened when we go down there? I said, go pick up some Kitco. Look at that. I said, go to Kitco and download the app Kitco. Open up a precious metals refinery account and make sure you can buy you some gold and some silver. And at the very least, buy you some silver on a week-to-week basis. Well, silver went up $5, a little over $5. I bought 1,000 ounces after that class. So, you know, I made $5,000 easy. Drum roll. Drum roll. Let's give it up to the brother with the cultural headdress. But look at gold. Gold was $1,683. Look where it's at presently now, $1,900. Look at that. Gold went up over $200 since 1 month ago when I talked about it. But what else did I tell my good brothers and sisters? I said, hey, if you can't afford to buy an ounce of gold, if you can't afford to buy an ounce of gold, what did I say? Get you some exchange traded funds. Get you an ETF. If you can't afford to buy the gold by the ounce, invest in the sector. Invest in the gold, the company that mines the gold, the company that ships the gold. Invest in an ETF that's gold related. Because if gold is going up, the industry is going to go up. The sector is going to go up. So I said, if you couldn't afford the gold, put your money in the sector. So a month ago, what did we see? Gold was $90 when I did this slide. These are two different slides I gave. 1 month ago, gold was this ETF, JNUG, J-N-U-G. J-N-U-G, this ETF. I said, don't overlook the loaf for some crumbs. Just because you see, dang, gold is $1,600 an ounce, I can't afford to buy it. Whereby if you bought it, you would have made over $200 profit. If you bought the silver when I told you, which is dirt cheap, it went up $5 an ounce. You'd make $5 on each one you bought. Showed you where to go, what app to download, how to set up your precious metals refinery account. There's no excuse. Make your money, people. We're in a crisis. Recessionary-proof assets will go on the rise. Get in there. So I'm just doing a review. We need context. I know I teach about a number of things during this course, and they're all very important. I don't know how to teach you in a linear way. We're only going to do this and that's it. I integrate everything that's going on with these stocks. So last month, I told you about JNUG in the John Wick 3 class. Here we are a month later. Okay, this was another slide I was talking about. Investing in inception of stocks momentum. That's when I first was revealing to you all the stock screeners and its benefits. But this was the slide. JNUG is a gold ETF. It was $90.57 1 month ago. Now it's $155. So what does that mean? It means that it went up $65. It went up $65 since a month ago when I brought it to your attention. Imagine what that means and represents. So you may say, oh man, but it's $100 and something dollars. I mean, it's $90. I don't want to spend all the $90. I'm spending $3,000 into something that, damn, it tanked. I lost some of my money. Looking at it from the wrong perspective. If you understand the narrative, you understand the execution. You got to understand, it's common sense, current events, and calculation. The more its economy plummets, the more on the rise precious metals and recessionary-proof assets will be. Hint, hint, wink, wink. We learn about options. And if something is really too expensive for you, kind of too rich for your blood, you want to buy 100 or something, but you don't got the money to buy 100 90 times, you buy the option, which equals 100. And if it skyrockets like this, then you execute your right to buy each of those shares for $90 each. Because if the strike, let's say the strike price was $100. You bought this for a strike price of $100 a month ago. It's $90. You bought it for a strike price of $100. Okay, you buy you a call option with the break-even point being $100. You go $55 over the marker inside of a month. Woo! Talk about the money you made from one option contract. Because you understand, because you're dealing with common sense, current events, and calculation. You might not have all the money to buy 100 of something that's $90. Or you may not be willing to risk 100 of something that's $90, $9,000. You may not be like, yo, But what I like to do is let me hold on to 100 of those things that's $90, and I'll be willing to buy them all for $100 each into the future. That's $10,000. Well, guess what? You would have won tremendously because you would have went $55 over. So that would have been 55 times 100 people. That's insane. Let's not play games. So I'm showing you June 24th, it was $98. It was as low as $90 if you look at that previous slide when I did the class. June 24th, it was $98.18. Right now, it's presently trading at $155.44. Pay attention. That's all I can say. Pay attention. So now, RCL is presently trading for $50.83. I like that. Let's keep that in mind. We go to Royal Caribbean and we see it at $116.91. Let's round it up to $117. That's on January 27th. It's presently trading for $50. Just remember that. But right now, in March, so you got January, you got February, March. Okay, a couple months after, it went down to $29.94. So let's round it up to $30. Keep these numbers flush. So the stock went down. Imagine if I was riding on, yo, I'm gonna buy 100 shares of these joints. I'm gonna buy 100 shares of this stock while it's $117. Things are looking up. It's looking promising. Oh no, it's going down. Well, hopefully it goes back up. Oh no, it's going down. Well, hopefully it goes back up. Oh no, damn. So I'd have bought 100 shares. I would have got crushed. But I'm gonna add context to why options are so powerful. So now let's look at this. 100 shares times $117 is $11,700. If I bought 100 shares of RCL in its prime when it was at $116, I would have spent around $11,700. Okay? Because we rounded it up. And so if I bought 100 shares of this same stock at $29, it'd be $2,900 total. So we understand that I would have lost, as they say, I would have got a lesson of $2,900. If I bought 100 shares when it was $117 and it went down to $29, my money went on decline by $2,900. That's if I bought 100 shares outright. But what if I would have just bought the option? Well, because the option right now is $50, right? We see that if I bought a contract to own 100 shares for this $50 call, where the break-even price is $63.03, this is current, it would cost me about $1,300. Okay, and I'm buying this call for January of next year, 6 months from now. So even if I bought an option 6 months from now or 3 months from now, the most I would lose is the amount that it cost me to get into the agreement to own 100 shares in the first place. Why is this important? I'm saying this because for context, with an option to own 100 shares, there's a limit to what you can lose. You don't go to zero. There's a limit to the lesson. That's when you get a lesson, because there's a limit there. You get a loss when you don't have a limit there, right? So when we look at this, if I bought 100 shares of RCL at $117, I would have spent $11,700. And if it goes down to $29, my money goes on decline $2,900. If I bought an option a month later, 2 months later, or even into next year, I only have at stake the amount of money I went in there with, and I can leave in between time and still salvage some funds. I can see it coming. I'm out of here. With just buying stocks in itself, your money could go straight to zero. It's not likely it's going to happen, but it can. And even if that doesn't happen, there's no limit to how much you can lose. It's indefinite. But with options, there's a limit to your lesson. So we want to understand options as a form of insurance policy, whether it's a call or a put. Because even with a call option, it's a form of insurance. If I want to buy 100 shares of something, I might want to just buy the option. If I want to do anything over 100, let me buy the option. If it does really spectacular, I bought the right to sell that stock at the strike price in contrast to whatever it's doing during that time. We can't lose. So watch this. The most that our money could go on decline is if this expires worthless $1,300. Over here, we already lost $2,900. And I'm making a contrast between loss and lesson, because when you do things on a calculative level, there is no loss. You did what you had to do for your downside risk. You minimize your downside risk due to your calculation. You're always winning when you're doing that. If you create an insurance for yourself, you're always winning. You're driving without insurance, you're losing. Get into the insurance game when it comes to stocks. I know the money's great and you don't want nothing to come out of it, but this class is for context. Now I want my traders going out there insuring their policies. Learn how to use contracts even when you're buying stocks the standardized way. When you're doing traditional investing, still insure your investments. We have to start learning how to do the pivot step, first step, spin move, low block, off the glass, off the backboard, through the legs, dunk, behind the back. Traditional investing is great, but it's time to take it up another notch. Because if you take it to this level, you'll be mitigating your risk. And therefore, if you have a nice ratio of winning now, it's only going to be more better. You're going to exceed your own expectations when you start mitigating your risk by employing these insurance methodologies, by using stocks to attenuate the risk. It's going to be powerful when you do it this way. You ain't worried about, but dang, the options cost me money. No, you're mitigating risk. So now you got to worry about just sitting there watching your money go down, go down, go down. Damn! You could do something about it to make sure you're straight. So I got to get these lessons across today and reinforce certain key ideas, because we have other things to come that are tremendous for next Sunday. And it gets more technical because you're going to be trading two options at the same exact time on the same stock to make sure no matter what, you're always going to make money, even if you're so-called losing money. But you know, we don't use the word lose. We like to say get lessons. So even in our lessons, money will still be made. So when we walk away from the table, we still have more than what we had before we got in. That's the strategies we got to take, because now you understand the other stuff for the most part. So let's really take it there. Let's really watch everything that we do. Let's make sure we don't sprain an ankle. Let's make sure we don't pull an Achilles. Let's make sure our diet is in conformity with the sport. Let's maximize our potential. Let's optimize our experience. Let's exceed our expectations. Let's endeavor to trade at the highest level. Let's not make any concessions to mediocrity. Let's go all the way in. So just as I just demonstrated, just as I just exemplified, this is what we're looking at. We're looking at exactly what I just was talking about. 100 shares times $117 is $11,700. 100 shares times $29 is $2,900. That's a $2,900 lesson. You have $8,800 left. Okay? That's truly a loss because we didn't use too much math to get to that point. But a $50 call for the same amount, see? Because this is trading for $50 right now. So a $50 call for the same amount, a time roughly would cost about $1,300. This means that there's a limit to your lesson. That's it. So no matter what the situation is, no matter how much this costs, a lesson that may be in order will protect you and create a downside risk. And that's what you're looking for. That's why options are powerful. You're creating an insurance policy. You're buying insurance even. And sometimes you will sell the insurance. We got to get into that next week. We want you selling the insurance. I need y'all to really realize there's a lot more to options trading than meets the eye. And we got to get there. We're going to get there together. But I got to review this just to make sure we're on the same page. I see those that ask the questions. I'm out here for you. So we get a 926 call, and the break even price or the strike price is $120. All that means is that I have the right to sell those stocks at $120 if I deem it profitable at the time. Or I could just sell the contract for a premium. So if the stock is $120, I got a September 26th call. Okay. So it's July 26th, 2 months from now. This contract expires. I start at $120. It goes down, goes up, goes down. It's not that volatile. And then it goes up to 135. It's a $15 difference. I got the right to sell this stock at $120 while it's worth $135 in the future. I got the right. The seller is obligated. The buyer isn't. The seller is obligated to purchase for the amount that's befitting to me when I'm in the money. I can sell the agreement or I can sell the actual shares. I have to execute my right to trade, so I have to buy those shares for $120 each, own them, and then sell them for $135. Make my profit, but always have to consider what did you pay to get into this agreement, because the combination of the two may contradict each other. In most cases, they do, unless that stock does something tremendous, then it makes sense. And in the same instance, if I buy a put option for 926, 2 months from now, as it is July 26, that's September 26, and the break-even price is $120, and we go past the break-even point and we did better than 95, because with a put option, we are making money because the price is on decline. And here we go, boom, it's at $95. So essentially we make $25 profit off of this. That's gonna be 25 times 100. $2,500 will be made, but we must consider how much we paid to get into the option agreement, and then the bid-ask spread, because we also paid for that. The market had to make their money. But the main thing is how much we paid for the contract itself. You gotta always factor that in, and then you'll actually have your net profit when you're done. Just going over it. We need context, and the more you see it, I can show you different variations, different angles, different appropriations, different conversations, different scenarios. You might see a car, you might see a house, you just see a graph, it might be a line graph, you might see candles. I want to make sure you understand this, because when I go forward, it can be crazy. it can be like, what are we talking about here? When I really go forward and do what I got to do. Now, I don't want to teach to cater to my own ego. That is not the goal. So, let's say you paid $500 for the option. The strike price is $125. You pay $500 again to the agreement, whatever it is. The strike price is $125. This means that you can buy the stock for $125 inside of the 60-day window that was available to you. So you know, you got a call date. Let's say the call date is 9/26. You got a call date for 2 months from now. It costs you $500 to get into this agreement. The strike price is $125. This means that you have the right to buy the stock at $125 in the future, inside of 60 days. The stock goes to $200. You have the right to buy it for $125. Own each of the 100 for $125. And you could choose to sell them back for the $200 that they're worth. That's the beauty of it. I ain't gonna buy the 100 shares now. I'm gonna buy the right to own them, but not be obligated to do so. That's the power of the buyer. The seller is obligated to fulfill that obligation. The seller is obligated to fulfill that mandate if you see it befitting. But the seller is also in a powerful space, because most people are not calculative. So the seller is banking on making money from everybody that he's selling to. Because with insurance, everybody doesn't crash their car. So insurance makes their money. And when there are accidents, hey, insurance makes the payout. It's part of the business. But insurance ain't crying because most people will never need the insurance. Not in that capacity. They'll make more money from people paying for insurance than they will from people crashing. And if that was the case, they still would change the rates or the premiums to make sure it still caters to them. So the expiration date is September 26th. It is July 26th, 60 days from now. The stock goes up $10. It is now $135. It was. It is now $10 more than the strike price. That is a $10 difference to be multiplied by 100. Whatever that stock is, you always multiply by 100 because it's an option contract because you bought the right to own 100 but not be obligated to execute the trade of 100 shares. So this gives you, if the strike price is $125 and the stock goes $10 above that price, then you multiply the $10 profit by 100 and you get $1,000. But remember, you paid $500 to even get into this agreement. So though it went up $10, you only have a net profit of $500. So if you bought this stock for $125, you bought it 100 times, $12,500, and it goes up $10, you would have made, yes, $1,000. So why do I need a call option for? That just cut into my money $500. Call up. So here we go. Here we are. We paid $500 for the option. The strike price is $125. This means that you can buy the stock for $125 inside of a 60-day window. Okay? So the expiration date is September 26th. We have 60 days before this contract expires worthless. It is now July 26th, so 60 days from now. The stock goes up $10. It is now $135. I bought the strike price for $125. I bought a call option for a strike price or the break-even price at $125. So now that it's $135, I multiply that by 100, it's $13,500. If I didn't buy this option contract and I bought 100 shares at the $125 strike price, I would have spent $12,500. And if it went up $10, I would have $13,500, and I would have made a $1,000 net profit. In the other model, I bought an option contract. So it cost me $500 to get into that agreement. So when I made $1,000, $500 must be considered. Make my net profit $500. Because out that $1,000, I have to consider the fact I paid $500 to get into the agreement in the first place. So why is the call option so important? Well, let's watch this. We paid $500 for the option. The strike price is $125. This means that you can buy the stock for $125 inside a 60-day window. The 60 days is qualified because the expiration date is September 26th, and it is now July 26th, literally. So that's 60 days from now. The stock goes up $10. It is now $135. That is a $10 difference to be multiplied by 100. That's a total of $1,000. However, you paid $500 to get into this agreement, so you made $500 net profit. I think we got that by now. So what's happening is, if the stock went down $10, that would surely be a $1,000 decline. But you bought a call option for $125, strike price. And the stock goes down $10. You decline for only $500 instead of $1,000 because you got protection. See, just by having a call option, not even just a put. With the put, we're looking at make money. So if it goes down, we can still salvage our gains. But even with a call option, rather than me say I'm gonna buy 100 shares of this stock in this volatile market, maybe I just want to buy the option contract because I can only decline for as much as I paid to get into the agreement to own 100 shares. But if I buy 100 shares with no protection, with no option contract, if I buy 100 shares of this stock and it goes down $10 and I bought 100 of these shares, I lose $1,000. But if I own the right to 100 shares, because I bought an option, in both instances, there's 100 shares involved, I can only realize a $500 decline because that's what I paid to get into the agreement. So yes, no option contract and things work out good. The option swallowed $500 of the net profit. On the other hand, if I want to invest in 100 shares and I don't have the option agreement there, that'd be a decline of $1,000. But with an option contract, whatever it costs for me to go into the agreement is as much as I can possibly go on decline. I don't use the word loss. Lesson. So I can only realize a $500 lesson if I have an option contract in place for the same amount of shares that I could have just bought without insurance. So what are you more focused on? The potential to make the money or the potential to make the money and mitigate the risk? The potential to make the money and attenuate the risk. The potential to leave with a profit, maybe not at max, but to consider the fact that you've created protection for the downturn of the stock. We need to be able to think like that. Yeah, I see you all the money I can make, but I'm gonna still make my money. There's gonna be many more days to trade. But what I gotta do is stop seeing my money tank. So maybe I wanna buy the option if I wanna buy 100 shares or 200 shares or 300 shares or something. And if there's no options available, then that's another conversation. But there are options available. Am I better off to find a call option? We don't really feel a way about this, and I sell a put. So I got this thing figured out no matter what. And in some instances, like I taught you last week, if you sell the put, stands to reason you put yourself in position to make more money depending on the decline than if the stock did good in itself and continue to prosper. Very important. Very important. Okay? So I just want you guys to take all these things into consideration. Paper terrorism has the templates, as many of you asking, but yo, what if I'm dealing with foreclosure? What if I need vaccine exemption form? What if I don't want to deal with the birth certificate? You said something about the sovereign affidavit and nativity. What if I want to homeschool my children? Because they want to open back up the schools and I don't trust them. And I said, well, you need to have a letter of intention or a letter of intent for the Board of Ed. These are the types of templates that's inside of paper terrorism. These are the type of templates that's inside of killing with paperwork, which is actually the part 1 to the part 2 paper terrorism. Okay, if you want to learn about administrative affidavits of specific negative averment with opportunity to cure and counterclaim and admiralty, it's a counter lawsuit to a foreclosure attempt on your property. We got this because we know that the mortgage note doesn't even exist because the bank sold you that property under a conditional interest, under the presumption of the item sonus, which is illegal, per nunc pro tunc. You will not afford yourself the opportunity to speak with them on that occasion. No, you will not afford them the opportunity to belittle you and deal with you like you are some kind of minor. No, we won't do that. Those days are over, people. So now you have, I taught them how to buy $1 with a few pennies. Make sure you get in tune with that information as well. That book will be released after this week. Thank you for your patience. I just wanted to add more data to it because I teach these classes and I write these books based on, well, this is really a new methodology. You can write about what you want to write about. You can teach about what you want to teach about. But as a teacher, it'd be great if you could accumulate an unofficial consensus for the most part, so everyone can find their way in the tone in the literature and in the classes. So as I read questions that come in, I address it because I'm not on a time table per se, because the goal is to make sure everyone's learning, not to make sure I get in there and I get up out of there. It's very taxing doing these classes every weekend. There's things that's going on that I just cannot be a part of. But I show up every weekend. And I don't cheat you out of the product. I don't cheat you out of the opportunity. I don't cheat you out the experience. Next week will be intense. So I felt like this was prerequisite. Make sure you review the previous classes. Realize that when this class is over, I'm going to go down the line of everything that I've shared and how it has gone up exponentially. I'm going to go down the line. We got dates and times, people. Dates and times. So right now, if you were to ask me, Brother Polite, so, because you're going to do it, so what you think? J-Nug, J-N-U-G, what you think? Yeah, buy some options. You can't afford the gold at $1,900 an ounce when it was $1,600 a month ago. The silver, I still say buy it every day. Come on, people, buy the damn thing every day. Buy it every week. At the end of every week, buy some silver. It went up $5, people. That's a lot of money. $5 profit on everything that you put your money on. You buy 10 of them, you made 50. You buy 100, you made 500. You buy 1,000, you made 5,000. Buy it every week and let it accumulate. It's a precious metal. It's more valuable than it's ever been before. The more this economy goes on decline, this is what the political polarization of global uncertainty is all about. The political polarization of global uncertainty teaches us this. I went over this during this class. That's why I like the fact I teach from one week to the next, because now we can look back a month ago, we can look back 2 months ago, and we can see I clearly am not mistaken about what I'm talking about. Make sure you join the community, brotherpolite.com. Join the membership. You will need those real estate notifications. Some of you are doing amazing. I see the tax liens that you've purchased. I like almost everything that you guys have purchased that you shared with me from them real estate notifications. That's for the people that are already in tune with that per the UCC and real estate course, because I've been teaching this prior. For those of you that's in the course, we're working our way there. We got a class or two before we get right into that. Because right now we got to work on due diligence. So next week, we're doing how to research property to know we're not buying a property that has child support liens on it. So now I'm the baby daddy of somebody. I ain't got no business being the baby daddy. We're going to have some woman be the baby daddy. She's a woman. She's a baby daddy because she done bought a property that has a child support lien on it. So now you inherited it because you didn't know how to do the due diligence. So we're going to go into the due diligence. We're going to go into title searching. We're going to go into quit titles, quiet titles. We're going to do all sorts of stuff. Comps, tax equalization ratios, and why they're significant. We're going to do market analysis at the highest level. So that way, you will not be in error and you can have a certain level of conviction when you embark upon the acquisition of real estate, that you made a well-informed decision to arrive at that transaction. Thank you all. Join the membership, get your notifications. You just go to brotherpolite.com and you click membership. Get your UCC and real estate course. You have time to catch up to the classes that we have. We have tutorials there for how to fill out a UCC financing statement. Every class that I'm doing right now gets super intense. And we also have the health class coming up. I think it's to be released August 9th. That would be the greatest gift for me. I would like to release it August 9th. And I'll be releasing tons of herbs, tonics, but at the same rate, I'm also going to teach you how to do it yourself. There's no better product than that. Then you guys can sell it if you choose. And yes, my products, you will see where it's warranted. You will see the FDA approval, factory guarantee, all that. You're going to be very impressed when you see our line of alkaline product line. When you see the vegan sexy product line, you're going to be like, wow. Keep it in mind. Peace and blessings. Iluvu. Nasud Gador. Black Power, people.